Pledge, please. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll move right into the minutes of the 1/7/19 board meeting. And do we have a motion to approve with corrected?
So moved.
Right.
Second.
Any corrections, changes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. And public comments?
Gary Reinhardt, town of Lake Pleasant citizen. I was wondering what is the latest news on the Frontier National Grid cell saga that we're going through?
I haven't heard anything from the petition that I sent in.
Okay, because I know I got a letter from the Attorney General thanking me for putting in my letter, and they were gonna try and send it to the right people, blah, blah, blah.
Has anybody gotten a letter from National Grid on this?
I have.
Right, okay, and phone calls?
No, I haven't.
I've been getting, the letter came by email.
Yeah,
Um,
saw the email.
I got a letter and I've gotten numerous phone calls, but I've had no time to talk to them, so.
Back to the cellular, in the state of the state, it was mentioned that the governor is proposing an upstate cellular task force, which may mean there's gonna be some action.
Well, I did notice before the big storm that National Grid did have trucks up here looking like they were doing some pre-storm maintenance, so it was good to see
Oh,
that
that's
it looks like that we are gaining ground on stuff like that. Just know that we gotta keep the pressure going and keep them,
We could jump in too.
yeah.
Nancy did a petition, I did a petition.
I sent the
So,
letter, I sent
yeah,
both
good,
letters, the
good.
petition, signed everything. You know, just make sure we keep them honest to the promises in their word. I think that's important.
And the power didn't go out with this latest
And the
storm.
power didn't go out.
Yeah,
That
that was
was
a
also
plus.
very impressive. So, thank you guys.
Anyone else?
Betsy Bain, Town of Lake Pleasant. I'm just here to ask Dan, how have we made out, or has any decisions been made on the street light issue? I think it was, you guys were looking into shutting down some of the street lights.
Yeah, we're still waiting to hear from the New York Power Authority on the go-ahead from National Grid, which they're waiting for our buyout agreement, which hasn't happened yet, so.
So is there actually a list that you guys have made up of the street lights that are gonna be shut off, or not yet?
No, actually, we discussed the possibility of eliminating some of them because there was an interest in, there was some concern that there were streetlights where there weren't really needed. So myself and Bob Fox went around, did an inventory. I started a map, I haven't finished it yet, of where all the streetlights are. And made some notations at some of the points where streetlights should be and some should be eliminated. That's what, we really can't do anything until we hear back from the New York Power Authority as far as moving forward with the proposal to switch over to LED.
I would hope that before any streetlights are eliminated, the whole town would know which ones were being discussed,
Oh, yeah,
And
most
have-
certainly,
a bit of input on it.
almost certainly.
That,
This
that was my concern. You know, after this past week, with the weather that we had and our town guys being out there late at night with the wind, the snow blowing, I just think it's a real safety issue, not only for just them, but also people coming through. When you come through Morehouse, it's so dark. And then once you start getting towards Paseco, you feel a little better because there's street lights, you know, and especially for people from out of town
Sure,
that don't know the
sure.
roads. And I just think it's a real safety issue, and I just hope that the board really gives a lot of thought to this before we agree to
Oh, yeah.
shutting any of them down. They're there for a reason, you know, so I just.
I would encourage
That's
people
what
to
I just-
just drive around at night on like South Shore Road and some of the back roads and see where some streetlights are that you kind of wonder why they're there.
Yeah, but again, you know, when the guys are out plowing at night or people walking at night, you know, they were put there probably, they had to be put there for a reason. They didn't just pop up for, just, oh, let's put them here and here. They're, you know, whether it's people walking or traffic, I just think it's a safety issue.
Yeah.
So
I honestly
just
think
if you
was,
would really consider it.
a lot of them were put there, I think, because people had kids get on the bus in the wintertime in the dark. And, but, you know, 30, 40 years ago, these kids are all grown up and gone, and now some of those same people are saying, boy, I'd like to get rid of that streetlight, it's, you know, it's going in my bedroom window all night. You know, so you gotta think that maybe you
Yeah.
don't really need one there.
I,
So, and it's,
And there may be other places where there are children getting on the bus in the dark.
Exactly.
There is not a street light that if you're gonna take away from one, perhaps.
that's right, that's where there's some, in the proposal that we're still working on, there's some ideas of moving some streetlights to better locations.
Okay,
I was
just
working
curious,
on
thank
it,
you.
Bob Fox and I,
and Bob Fox isn't here in the winter though, to see what it's like when it's dark at 4 o'clock.
Oh, that's
He's
concerning.
here at, you know, when it's light out at 9 o'clock.
well, it was at 9 o'clock and later when we did the inventory of the lights and where
No,
they
no,
were.
I understand that, but we're the ones that are here for 6 months out of the year that he's not, when it's dark.
4:30,
Yeah.
5 o'clok.
Bob's an engineer and he's had a lot of experience with street lighting, that's why he offered his assistance.
Dan, Danville, in this proposal, didn't they say that they were gonna do a survey before they did anything as far as let the town know where they recommend that, you know, that the streetlights go, which some that could be eliminated, because, you know, these lights have a greater, you know.
That's correct too, and that's part of the process of,
So there is a survey that's gonna be done by them before anything happens.
well, not so much a survey on location, survey on what type of light should be in that in that point of where they are now. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
I just got something. to
Shorty,
say.
just state your name, please,
Shorty Huffman, speculator.
so.
Back in the late 70s or early 80s, we went through the same thing. People were complaining there were too many streetlights in the village, speculator and all that other stuff, and it was costing so much money. So the village board went around and they took different ones out and said, well, we'll turn these out. You know, they thought we'd knock them all out. So we turned a bunch of them out to cut down on the bill. And the phone rang off the wall over the village hall for about 3 or 4 weeks. People complained, how come this light is out in front of my house? And Joe off the street still got his, and there was so much complaints, we just threw them all back on and said, that's it, so.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, Randy's not here, huh?
I have some.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. Marilyn?
Marilyn Tanning, Hamilton Lake Conference Center, Lake Pleasant. I'm just here tonight to address some facts in regards to Hamilton Lake. There's been some rumors that I've heard around town, and I just want to make sure that everybody on the board is aware of the facts that I have for Hamilton Lake. And I understand it was,
Sorry.
I understand it was at a meeting recently that Hamilton Lake Road is pretty much considered a private road that leads to a club in the back of the woods. You are all aware that this was a town road. It's been maintained by the town for, I don't know how long. I mean, we've been there almost 100 years and it's always been a town road. Paving, I understand is not gonna be done for this year. It's been taken out of the budget for 2019. Hopefully we'll look at that for 2020. It's approximately a mile to complete that project. Is that correct, Randy? A mile?
There's a mile,
Left?
yes, left,
To pave?
in the middle.
Pave?
Yep.
Okay. And I was just curious if the board was aware of what we pay in taxes for the town each year.
How much?
Is anybody aware of the taxes that we pay?
Yeah, I looked it up.
Do you have that figured?
Yeah, I do.
14 something. I
I
believe.
know, that's why I bring my computer. It's my brain.
Always heard it
I
was a
remember it
lot.
wasn't anywhere near as much as I thought it would be.
Pardon?
It wasn't anywhere near as much as I thought it would be. It was,
Is that the victim's taxpayer in town?
well, at the moment, Marilyn, unless you want to wait longer, I can't find it right offhand.
Okay, well, I have a copy of our taxes, our current taxes for 2019 for the town, and the amount is $56,089 approximately.
That sounds right, yeah.
The 56,000? Okay.
Mhm.
We also pay for school taxes approximately in September 2018, we paid $56,766. Another question that's been in town is how many employees that we employ at Hamilton Lane. We have 7 full-time employees and approximately 12 part-time employees on the property. I just want to make sure that everybody understands that we've always maintained a strong relationship in our community, contributing to numerous events and benefits in this town. Some of them which were the hospice tournament for years, we did that. We helped raise over $200,000 for that. We've raised money for the school tournament for the school. We've also helped with the hospital tournament over at Lake Pleasant every year. We donate for that. The reception desk in the library, I got the money for that from International Paper 2 years ago, 2017. That was $16,850 that we contributed to the town. We've never turned away a request for any donation or benefits for this town. We have helped out Lions Club, Twigs, Pleasant Riders, any of the fishing contests, the Republican Picnic, like I said, Nathan Latour, Friends of the Library, when they were asking for money at Oak Mountain, we were always up there helping support them. We never put our name on anything because I didn't want our name on anything, but we never put our name on stuff, but we were there helping out. We've always maintained a strong relationship with all the businesses in this town. We try to keep all our monies as much as possible in this town. Almost every single business in this town knows that we are in their stores, in their businesses, spending IP money in those stores. And in closing, I just want to say that even though we're private, we will continue to maintain a good community with events, benefits, helping out our community, even though I feel that people think that we're private and we're staying in back of the woods and not helping out in the community. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
So she's adding in the school tax.
I will move straight to.
Me already?
You're already time
Really
to
not
take a break.
prepared.
County, 766 for
Well,
school.
I did my search for International Paper, so maybe they own some properties under a different name. I don't
What are you
know.
looking for?
I found my copy here where I did a search in the Hamilton County website where you can look up assessments.
Mhm.
And I did a search for International Paper, and I came up with, I don't know how many parcels there are here, but
13.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11, 12, 13 parcels, so I found them all. I came up with a total assessment of $3,886,500, and I multiplied that by the town tax rate for 2018, which is $4.54 per thousand, and I came out with $17,655.
Well, I have my receipts.
Oh, good, that's better.
Yeah, I have a copy of the receipts.
Yeah, see, the website might not be up to par. Thank you. Can I borrow these for a bit?
You can have them. I
Oh,
have
thank
no
you.
copies. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move right into highway.
Okay. We're doing well with the snow. We all wanted it, now it's here. More coming tomorrow. Very minor, one mirror got broke during the storm on the truck. We all put in a lot of time and so on and so forth. A good proportion of everybody's kept their snow out of the road. There was some individuals that still insist on plowing across highways, state highways, town highways, so on and so forth, trying to address that. We are going to shelf the state road and our back roads this week, town roads. So we're going to try to keep the loader right with the truck, moving the snow as it drops into people's driveways, but everybody gets excited when we do this, but it has to be done.
So it's called shelving?
Yes. The groomers, it's another whole story today. Pleasant Riders machine has been down for about 2 weeks, I would say. We've been grooming Oxbow Trail. They have transmission issues. Possibly today they got it rectified again. Haven't gotten a report on it yet.
They're working on it right now,
They're working on it
as
right
we
now.
speak.
Okay. We groomed that today. We groomed all of Perkins Clearing today. Drag is groomed village trails up to Perkins Clearing. In that, the big machine that normally does Perkins Clearing, the starter went this morning. Trying to get it started at 20 below. That should have the parts for that tomorrow. The BR-110, that was up there at Mason Lake, started this morning, so I sent that in to groom Perkins Clearing. Ended up going and rescuing Matt. I don't want to say the transmission, but the drive shaft and transmission, something in there is not functioning anymore. Drive shaft's not spinning, but the transmission shaft is, so.
Which machine is this?
This is our old BR-110
BR-110.
that does Mason Lake and 2 miles of hill. AKA, Louis Lake Trail. Tomorrow we're gonna attempt to break those 2 trails out. There's approximately 6 feet of snow on them in most spots, because of the plowing. So that's going to be an event. We're gonna go in once we get the 200 running and tow the BR-110 out. And then pull the engine and transmission out and see what's going on. So that's hopefully all the trails should be groomed and such, broken out at least by Thursday. So, the buildings did well with the cold. We let a frozen water line in the shop this morning. Managed to get that unthawed. My office door was shut for the weekend, not allowing any heat in there, and the water line goes behind the wall. So, and the furnace went out in the wash bay, but it was still 52 degrees this morning, so it must have just went out. So,
Fired again now?
yep, and I hit the on button and it fired right back up.
Nice.
No, have a clue why it does it.
Got tired.
Yep, must be. Decided didn't want to burn any more propane. That's it.
All right. Old business. Anyone? Bob, do you have anything? No?
I can bring up a round table once I put my hand on it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, move into new business, and we'll begin with the 2018 code enforcement summary. Bob?
Bob Begovich, Code Enforcement Officer, Lake Pleasant. You should all have in front of you what happened in the year, but anyway. In order to update you on the building department activities for the year 2018, I'd like to offer you the following summary. There are a total of 86 building permits issued in the town of Lake Pleasant in 2018. In comparison, there were 90 permits issued in 2017. The permits issued were as follows: 15 permits for new residential buildings. Of these, 5 were for single-family dwellings, with 4 of those being renewals. 10 for garages, storage buildings, or sheds, with 4 of those being renewals. There were no permits issued for new commercial buildings. There were 19 permits for additions. These include increasing the size of an existing footprint or enclosing an existing structure to create more living space. Of these, 5 permits were for renewals. 27 permits for alterations. This group of permits includes structural changes to a building, complete change of a system, or upgrade of existing systems. Of these, 5 permits were renewals. There were 10 permits for septic systems or repairs to septic systems, 7 permits for wells, 7 permits for demolitions of a structure, and 1 permit for a solid fuel burning device. For the year 2018, there were 3 certificates of occupancy issued and 10 certificates of compliance issued. The certificate of occupancy were 1 issued to Paul Allen for a new single-family dwelling on Neverland Drive, a CO issued to Olivia Barrett for a new seasonal single-family dwelling on Hamley Road, and a CO issued to Brian Jensen for a new single-family dwelling at 2718 State Route 8. He finally finished that house. The 10 certificates of compliance issued were for various projects ranging from additions and major alterations to solar panels, making sure that compliance with the New York State Building Code was adhered to. There were no stop work orders issued for 2018. There were 2 fire department notices that I received in the office. One was for a dryer fire at Casey's Condos. There was no structural damage to the building, and the dryer was removed and the gas line capped off by the liquid propane provider. The second notice was for a chimney fire at Mickey O'Rourke's residence. Again, no structural damage was reported, and the chimney has been repaired with a stainless steel liner by a professional chimney installer. Any questions, please let me know.
Thank you, Bob.
I have one other issue, and I just want to bring it up with you now. I'm going to give you, these are the New York rules and regulations as far as building permits go. I noticed that we do have some people that are saying we're kind of like not going for permits, just doing stuff. And I just want to let you know that these are the permits that are required. Basically, it's pretty much everything requires a permit except the exceptions that you see below on the list. And the important exceptions really are any shed or building up to 144 square feet is legal without a building permit. You'll see on the third one down, pools need permits unless it has a water depth of less than 24 inches. There's some other stuff about fences, stuff like that. The other one, number 10, would be the installation of portable electric, plumbing, heating, or ventilation. Basically what they mean is, you know, if you stick an air conditioner in your window, that's a portable electric device. You don't need a permit for that. People that are doing generators, they're altering their entire electrical system, and they do need permits. If you're changing your heating system from an oil system to a propane system, you need a permit. I've been trying to get the word out to these guys that do the installations. They haven't done it in so long, a lot of them just, you know, I have to catch them doing it. So that's basically where we're at. The weather put a little damper on permits later in the year, so we're a few shorter than we were last year, but other than that, we're doing pretty good.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've got almost twice as many permits this year as last for new residential buildings.
Well, a lot of them, yes, but there were some renewals, you know, people that are doing stuff and they just haven't finished it. And, you know, some people have been working on their houses for 10 years,
Yeah.
you know.
How long is the permit good for?
It's good for a year. And we do have some people that, when they, you know, I try to send out letters when their permits expire, but I notice, some people are they just don't want to renew them. So at that point, depending on where the job is, I'll have to go put a stop work roll on. We haven't had any of that lately, but I can see a couple coming down the road.
Okay, next we have the agreement for services of the chamber. Jim and I and Chris have been working on this quite a bit lately, and the latest copy that was sent to you the other day, which you also have a copy of your desk, is the final version. Hopefully you've had a chance to look it over. The chamber has gone through it and has already signed their copies, and I feel confident that we have a good agreement here, and we should do the same.
So you're looking for motions and.
Yes, I would like a motion to approve the agreement of services for the chamber.
So moved.
Moved by Chris,
I'll second.
second by Mike. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. And while we're on the chamber subject, did you have anything to add, Jim, at all, or at this point?
I don't have anything to report right now, but they're working on the Wine and Bear Fest, which is going to be in the fall. And that's going to be an exciting event that's going to bring a lot of vendors in, and that's really moving forward. And it's going to be a great event to bring folks in. It's going to be also the same weekend that they're having Oktoberfest. So it'll be a nice, we do ours on one day, Oktoberfest is the next day. We'll bring some folks in. We're hoping to fill up a weekend there, get some more business in. And we can give you a better report at the next meeting.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
And we'll move on to the digital towpath resolution. Chris, do you have any comments you want to add concerning this at all? Or?
Well, not really. The only comment is that the cost went up since we adopted the budget. And that's because Digital Towpath holds its annual meeting in December. That's when they figure out how much each cooperative member is gonna pay for next year, and when they decide if they're going to open it up for more memberships. Because Digital Towpath is owned by the municipalities that belong to it. So it did go up a bit. I think we budgeted $780 and it's $850 now.
$850, yes.
So, but there's plenty of money in that line. It's just that I want the board to be aware it is a little bit more than we expected. And they have 2 more openings, so we just, I'm so glad that we got in there.
Yeah,
Oh, and I've got the website almost ready to go, the new website.
okay.
Couple more days and maybe I'll switch it over. The old website its final day is February 7th. That's when our software agreement with that company ends. So I'll put something on it and directing people to the new one when I make the switch.
Very good.
And then everybody's gonna have to Google search for it to make it
Yeah,
go up
they
above.
probably do it. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Otherwise, it'll go into
Yeah.
the old, because we had that problem with the library, website, everybody was going to the old one,
Mhm.
so
Sure.
we'll all have to Google it every day.
Yeah. for a couple months anyway.
Chris, did you want to read the, resolution, or do you want me to?
Okay. Debbie, which resolution is this of 2019?
This is gonna be 3, because we did the minutes, then we just did the other one. We approved the chamber, so this would be 3. Oh, I'm sorry, I have no idea.
Okay.
Chris, are you kidding me? Oh, well, actually, I could.
It's in the minute.
It's in the minutes from last month's.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put it in.
Resolution whatever of 2019, establishing initial membership in the Digital Towpath Cooperative. Whereas the town of Lake Pleasant intends to adopt and maintain the technologies afforded it through the Digital Towpath Cooperative's systems and services. And whereas the town of Lake Pleasant expects this membership to increase services to its residents through the use of these tools. And whereas the use of these systems and services will enhance town citizens' e-government interaction with our town and promote the security, authenticity, and availability of electronic public records held by the town. And whereas the agreement for services outlining the town of Lake Pleasant's participation in this cooperative has been presented to and reviewed by this board. Therefore, the Lake Pleasant Town Board authorizes Supervisor Daniel Wilt to enter into the agreement establishing the town's membership in the Digital Towpath Cooperative, and hereby designates blank to represent the town of Lake Pleasant in all proceedings of that body. So they do meet monthly, but it's all by, through computer. What do you,
Webinars or like web chats?
something like that. Web, it's not a webinar, but you know, everybody gets together on, and, so it's, 12 meetings a year.
Resolution number 17.
Thank you.
So Chris, would you be, willing to represent the town of Lake Pleasant and all the proceedings of that body?
I suppose that would make sense.
Yep.
Okay.
So the resolution, we have the, this is presented by Chris. We have a second,
I'll second it.
Nancy. All in favor? None opposed? Very good, resolution's passed. Next thing I had was just an update that there is another aquatic invasive species spread prevention grant opportunity that we're looking into at this time. Time is tight, has to be done by February 15th, so we're gonna try to do what we can. I'm not sure we're gonna be able to have it prepared by then, but we're working on it at this time. Following that, we have an opening on the Board of Assessment Review. If anyone has anyone interested or anyone willing to fulfill that position, I would ask that they please present their name to myself so we can move to the board for approval. While we're on the subject of the standing committees, there were a couple additions that we need to follow up with from the organizational meeting. Deb, you want me to just
Yeah.
run through them?
Yeah.
The first one is that Joan Brunius has agreed to continue on the planning board for the term of 1/1/2019 through 12/31/2021. Under the Zoning Board of Appeals, William Waller has agreed to stay on for a term of 1/1/2019 through 12/31/2021. And under Consolidated Health District Board, the mayor position would be Cheryl Pestella. Replacing the former mayor, Bill Tracy. Cheryl did step into the position as mayor to fill the rest of the last term. I believe that's it.
Attorney to the town?
I'm sorry?
Did we appoint attorney to the town?
We did not approve attorney to the town at the last meeting, so I didn't know whether you wanted to do that or not. It wasn't on the list, so as I was going over my list the other day.
When I saw that, I sent an email to Young and Summers, Laura, requesting an update to the contract with the town. So maybe if we can sit on that for right now until we verify that the agreement's still valid before we appoint them as town attorney, if that's okay.
Okay, so do you want to have a resolution to approve John Bornius, Bill Waller, and Cheryl Costello?
We'll do that right now.
I'll move.
Moved by Nancy,
Okay,
I'll second.
second by Mike.
thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution's passed.
And we needed to appoint the health insurance committee again, right?
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
think-
sorry.
The
Did
health
we do the health insurance committee last meeting?
We did not do that, but I sent an email out to everybody today, but everybody must not have been reading my emails.
I
But
never got your email.
I
today.
added, I just added it anyway on the new list, and I kept it as the same as last year, which was Will, Mike Stern, LeVarn Way, and O'Rourke. So,
Okay.
I added that on the list.
I don't know. Dan needs to make that a formal appointment or what?
How's it?
Doesn't require board vote.
I don't think
I
so.
don't believe so. No,
Okay.
just-
Put it together, right?
Yeah,
So I just went ahead and added them.
okay. I think we'll
Just
come up with a
support
new, we'll come up with a new printed version for everybody at the next meeting.
I'll have it done tomorrow.
Okay, great. Deb, you had some justice reports?
I did, I handed it out, we have to review the courts for this, for the association, just letting everybody know that what's been turned in by Judge Purdy and Judge Smith, so I just made a copy of the summary of, which is always in your bills anyway, just letting you know the monthly statement from January until December of 2018, and I do need a resolution on that, just because, we have to turn that into the New York State courts, that it's been reviewed and handed out.
I'll entertain for a motion that we have reviewed this.
Okay.
Anyone?
Yeah.
Moved by
I'll
Bob,
second it.
second by Chris. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none.
Thank you.
And I believe that's one, unless anybody else has anything else under new business. We'll move right into the bills. I'll entertain a motion to pay the bills.
I'll move.
Moved by Nancy, second. Chris, all in favor? Opposed? Passed. We do have a budget adjustment transfers we need to approve. In your pile of papers there. Anyone? Randy, you've been through this?
Yeah, the only one I don't understand has nothing to do with me, but is that Lake Stewart one. It seems like a very big number to be over.
Yeah, she doesn't,
Like I said, it's not my department, so I don't.
I'm worried, wondering about it too.
Gotta be a decimal point, I would think. But where it goes.
I don't know where she came up with that, I'm not sure.
It's a big number.
Yeah,
The only explanation I can come up with on that is that when the monies come in from the grants, they go in as a revenue. And then this comes out as an expense. So that would be my explanation, but that is an awful lot.
but
the only thing that makes sense, but
I don't know if that much came in,
yeah.
minus 5,000 that we budgeted.
Yeah, this would probably, which also includes the money that was taken in from Marietta for that part of it too.
And
so,
went out to Arietta.
Yeah. All right. Well, can we approve the budget adjustments minus?
Why would we have any budget transfers at all for the first month of the year?
These are
for
2018.
2018.
To clean up.
to clean up the end of the year budget. For instance, snow,
Okay.
oil.
I'm looking
you
at
know,
the date on top, that's why.
Yeah, snow removal, gas and stuff, we went, in my mind, a touch over because of November.
Mhm.
You know, but we took it out of, Kathy came and asked me, you know, obviously continue at first, but then the leftovers of all that same, you know, DA fund, so
Okay.
basically one hand was helping out the other. The other large one for me was, when, Lynn retired, we had to pay her vacation time and all that back.
Right.
So that put, you know, that line over. But
Yeah.
once again, we took it out of something in that same line. So,
That's the 4392?
yep,
And the 11,000 was paying off the
River.
bloomer ahead of time.
Which we,
Yep.
we have a resolution on that anyway. So can we
We eliminate the late
move
steward.
everything until we find out about that?
Right.
I would move on that, is that we
Move by-
opted out.
Moved by Bob. Second?
I agree, I'll second it with the exception of the Lake Stewards line.
Okay.
We just need explanation. We can
Yeah.
get to the next meeting.
Right. All in favor? Opposed?
I'd like to make sure that when we get these, that we get the backup material, because the expense control report that we received was from January and not 18, which would show us these
Yeah,
information that we're looking
but
at.
I don't have that with me.
Yeah.
The last
I also, while we're discussing it, I also have a issue with that revenue report for January. That's already, I'll have to either take it up with, I know we haven't gotten a check from the state of New York for January snow, being that we're not done with January snow. And she's got $19,000 worth of revenue already in there,
That may be some of the money from, let's
Last
break
year.
that up. Yeah,
just to keep the books right. 18 should go in 18 and not 19.
right. Will you be around tomorrow morning? Or you,
I got,
will that be next week?
no guarantees,
Let's get together with her first for
Yeah.
next week then?
yeah.
Then we, tomorrow, I don't get back till Sunday.
Okay, that would be way better, because I won't be there by at 9 o'clock now.
Okay.
Stay strong.
All right, very good. We're back to public comments. Anyone? Hearing none, we'll move right to round table. Deb?
Nope.
Nancy?
Nope.
Chris?
Nope.
Bob?
We have Bill Pestel was here, asked about the flag on the, I don't know if you had a chance to look at that.
I did not.
Okay.
We will get a light on it. It does have power at the gazebo.
Yeah,
It's just a matter of putting a light fixture there and then
Yep.
wiring it down to that, which is
Yep, piece of cake,
piece of cake.
not the time to do it.
And I also have not ordered the boxes because I went to order them and didn't realize how many, several different sizes are available that I have to go and measure the thermostat itself. So
Yep.
you would think it would be just a simple box, but it's not.
Nothing's ever simple.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Mike? Anything? Ready?
Yeah, anybody talking to anybody that has connections to the governor? one way or the other, we need, put a flat budget cap on the CHIPS funds, which is, I guess you could say, okay. At least you didn't cut it, but we know that the paving money or cost is going to go up. Stone goes up, oil goes up, the process goes up. So now, just by him capping it, that means we're gonna pave less. Then he went and took away the winter recovery program, which for us is, yeah, I hate to say it, it's a small amount, but it's still $10,000 or $15,000
It's not a small amount.
That's a big
of
amount
$80,000 that we get from them. So you do the percentages, it's a big percentage
Right.
that he's cutting away from that. Now, the budget hasn't been, adopted or anything like that, so we have to go down to Albany and fight and, but it's not a good sign that he automatically took it out.
That winter recovery program, was that a FEMA or was that state?
State, and he has control of that. It was set up for potholes,
Oh,
pothole repair, and that was the original, You had to use it first and then all this, and there's all kinds of regulations on it, but what it could be used for and so on and so forth, but it was named winter recovery because you were supposed to be the first thing out in the spring of the year fixing the damages to the roads. If you look at the state roads, the center line always gets chewed up and so on and so forth, but that's what that money was supposed to be there for.
I thought that particular fund was funded by the gasoline tanks.
I don't know what funds it. I just know what it was supposed to be meant and used for, but,
Both issues are being addressed by the Association of Towns, and there's some discussion going on now with the Adirondack Association of Towns and Villages, so. But again, nothing's
Yeah.
concrete yet, so.
no, anybody talking to anybody.
Yeah,
The less they give, the more we have to pay,
that's right.
or less we do.
Just kinda what they want.
Yeah,
Any reason to go to executive session? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn then.
So moved.
Moved by Chris,
I'll second.
second by Nancy, all in favor?
Aye.
Good, thank you, everybody. I'm sorry?
Bills.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.